I love swordsmen in anime, specifically the samurai, and Wano was an arc that had a lot of samurai that were involved. The term samurai means warrior or knight. They are individuals who pride themselves on swordsmanship, and I think Oda did a really good job of highlighting samurai as characters, their pride, their honor, everything involved in what a samurai should be. Because of this, these individuals are some of the strongest characters in this series. However, in my opinion, I think that Wano lacks some strong swordsmen, and today I wanted to give my thoughts on this matter. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. With that, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's talk about the lack of strong samurai in Wano. So why didn't we get so many legendary samurai? And I think the short answer is because of plot. Narratively, it wouldn't make much sense if Oda included very strong samurai. If everyone was strong, then that would mean that nobody would be. We know that Kaido and Orochi ruled over Wano for a long time. If these such strong and legendary swordsmen on the level of Oden and Ryuma were around, then Kaido wouldn't have been able to turn Wano into his territory, and they could have easily defeated him, and the whole Wano arc, Luffy overcoming Kaido, would have all been for nothing and wouldn't have existed. Also, if you look at Yamato's flashback, there were some strong individuals who challenged Kaido in the past that were samurai and lost. They were the daimyo of Wano. In challenging Kaido, they were killed, and there were others that weren't killed. They were thrown into udon. Kaido, he broke their will to fight, their fighting spirit, which samurai they pride themselves on, and he forced them to work on him. So I understand why Oda made this choice of only having a select few individuals be strong samurai. There was a statement by Akainu in talking about the samurai. When Kizaru asked if he wanted him to go to Wano, he was stopped by Akainu because he stated, number one, there was an unknown military force in Wano, which is the samurai, and number two, because two Yonko in Big Mom and Kaido were there. We know in order to take action against a Yonko, you need military permission, and that takes a lot of preparation. Look at Egghead Island. Just for Luffy and Vegapunk alone, and I said just Luffy, but he is an emperor with everybody on his crew. They sent 9 vice admirals, 1 admiral in Kizaru, 1 elder in Saint Garcia Saturn, and 100 navy battleships with 30,000 men. So because of this statement by Akainu, I had very high expectations for the samurai, and there are only a few named ones with decent strength. Those include the Kaiser 9, Oden, Ryuma, the daimyo, the yakuza, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and that's about it. About the yakuza bosses, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, they were a little bit disappointing. Now, I'm not asking them to be as strong as the Tobiropa, as strong as the All-Stars and Jack, Queen, and King, but for them to be bosses, they didn't really display anything that impressive outside of Hirogoro and Ashura Doji. The amount of times that we cut to them in the anime fighting, I don't want to say nobodies, but Kaido's henchmen, and I'd say that was pretty disappointing. I would have at least liked for them to take on a gifter or somebody with decent status. Taking it back to Zoro, I mean, he's a swordsman, so obviously with Wano and the lack of strong samurai, we have to address him. His goal is to be the world's strongest swordsman, and in an arc predicated on samurai, I would have assumed that he would either fight a lot of strong swordsmen or he would learn a little bit more about blades, which he did to a certain degree. He learned about Enma and the Wado Ichimonji being forged by the same person in Shimosuke Kuzaburo. He also learned about cursed blades, that they really aren't cursed. It's just that the swordsmen aren't strong enough to wield that blade. Hence what was happening with Enma. It was testing Zoro, and Zoro had not met Enma's expectations, which is why he had to constantly be outputting Kagerasaki in order to use Enma. In fighting other swordsmen, he had some random encounters with some NPCs or samurai of no-name status. He had a brief clash against Kirishiro. I wish that was fleshed out a little bit more, but for the most part, his fights in Wano were against Hawkins, King, and Big Mom and Kaido, and they're strong, but at the same time, they're pirates and aren't really swordsmen. I know Zoro's a monster, so it would be pretty hard to have opponents that are samurai on the level as him, but at the same time, this is why I'm making the video about Wano's lack of strong samurai in Wano. I would have liked to see some strong women who were samurai in Wano. We had Kiku, but that's about it. I think that if we had strong women that were samurai, it would be cool for the interaction that happened between Zoro and Kuina. We know Zoro's backstory. He fought against Kuina and lost 2001 times, and she claimed that when Zoro got to a certain age, that he would surpass her in terms of strength. Similar to how siblings fight against each other, the older sister, who tends to be the stronger one, who will always win her fights, and eventually once you get to a certain age, you surpass her in strength. It's kind of like that because Kuina was older than Zoro, and she's right. Biologically, once men get to a certain age, they indeed become stronger and faster than women. However, Zoro looked at it a little bit different. He didn't like the fact that Kuina was using, I don't want to say excuses, but that's the term I'm going to use, because Zoro, he wanted to be acknowledged that he trained hard enough and he honed his skills enough to surpass her, and that it's not just because he's a man. Similar with Taishiki, and that's why he doesn't really like her. She has the same rationale with Kuina, and I understand where Taishiki and where Kuina is coming from, but at the same time, that's why Zoro said what he said, and he motivated Kuina to get stronger in order to keep beating him. A really good statement that came in the King and Zoro fight I liked, it was when King stated that Zoro was biologically incapable of beating him, and Zoro stated that he disliked making excuses like that, which leads back in his belief of his skill will allow him to defeat his opponents, which is true. This isn't to say that Oda didn't portray any strong women in Wano. Big Mom, Ulti, Black Maria, Kiku, Robin, and Nami. Those are just some of the women who did their thing in Wano. But I just wish that they had more female samurai that were strong in Wano. I wish either Hiyori or Yamato could have been that female samurai that I was looking for. Yamato, she wants to be Oden. To me, it's a little bit shocking that she adopted her father's fighting style rather than using a blade like Oden. In the Road to Laughdale series that Oda dropped, Yamato, she was originally supposed to be a swordsman. She's really strong as advanced conquerors, one of the only few to achieve that, and I think it would have been cool for her to use a blade. Same with Hiyori. I think it would have been really cool if she was a samurai as well. I understand the whole reason why she became a Ryan, to get close to Orochi in order to defeat him. I get that, makes sense, but at the same time, for her having one of Oden's legendary blades, Amino Habakiri, I messed that up, and defeating Orochi with that blade, I think it would have been better in my opinion. Like I said, I understand why there couldn't be so many ridiculously strong samurai out there like Oden and Ryuma, because those two are legends. Oden, he was somebody that was able to fight against Whitebeard, and Whitebeard considered him as a brother. He was on the Pirate King's crew, and Ryuma was a legend. He cut a dragon over the capital and was considered the god of the blades. Those two are league amongst their own, and so they are considered legends for a reason. Is everyone was as strong as them, then nobody would really be that special in my opinion. And the whole thing with Kaido ruling over Wano for such a long time, so many different individuals that were strong and legendary samurai would have defeated him, meaning that we would not have a Wano arc. But I would have loved to see Zoro go against at least one, maybe two really strong samurai. Like I said, he went against Kiroshiro, but that was really a quick interaction. And then there was other no-name NPC random samurai that he interacted with, which wasn't really that impressive to me. And I get it that the whole thing that where women don't really hold blades in Japanese culture, I understand that, but this is also an anime, so I think having more strong female characters could have been cool, and I think it would have been really interesting to prove that Kuina could become such a strong swordsman even though she was a woman if she did not die. The lack of strong women was, I guess, a kind of lack of drama, and I guess you could say samurai in general. It's just something that I want to talk about. I don't think it was really detrimental to the entirety of the Wano arc. But let me know how you guys feel about the lack of strong samurai in the comment section below. How do you guys feel about it? But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.